Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. This is your host, John Kowach Jr., streaming live from my kitchen this morning. I just wanted to give you a really awesome introduction, and I can't wait for you to listen to the interview that we're about to conduct with a good friend of mine and someone who I've recently met, and somebody who's having absolutely on fire success. I just can't wait to introduce you to this individual. I want to remind you that the Circle of Knowledge is brought to you by the Champion Circle. I am the founder and chairman of the Champion Circle Networking Association, which is currently local in Utah, and soon will be coming to a state or a city near you. Looking forward to expanding our knowledge and sharing as much as we can, and also utilizing the mastermind methodologies to help you acquire the solutions and actual results that you need during the networking process. Those mastermind methodologies have been developed through and not only but by Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill's methodologies, as well as the various studies I've been conducting over the last decade. And so I'm looking forward to conducting that. Obviously, I'd like to pay compliments to my wife, who makes some laminated jewelry, and these are actually live plants, and she has been taking the time to build those and sell them and share them. And so if you have any questions, you can send me a direct message if you are attracted to some of these things. Right now, she's just showing off some of the earrings and the things that she's created, and obviously she's probably like, no, don't show those. I don't know which ones, but I just wanted to show which ones were really cool. So but without any further ado, I want to welcome one of our guests today. And this individual has attended some of our Habitude Warrior Masterminds. This person has been involved in some really amazing things. I do want to share just a quick note about this individual. So I'm about to interview and have a really awesome conversation with the one, the only Miss Sally Green. And before I bring her on, I just want to tell you guys that she is somebody who is really good at taking care of everyone else. And if you've read the bio or the post in my social media post, you'll have noticed that during COVID, she realized that she was really bad at taking care of her own self. I could totally agree with that. Like I did not realize how bad it was when I had to focus on myself. So she started a self-care journey. She began eating healthier, walking regularly, reading more, and opportunities started coming her way. She is a contributing author in two amazing books so far with Forbes Riley in one of her collaborative books, as well as the Lynda Sunshine West book series. And we're going to talk to her a little bit about that because, as we know, books are amazing. They're awesome opportunities to create, well, a lot of movement in your life. And so she's now doing a self-care Rockstar show on YouTube, which we're going to talk to her a little bit more about as well. And she's helping others begin their self-care journey. So in the process of interviewing and getting to know Sally Green, let us welcome her to the podcast. Miss Sally Green, welcome to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. How are you today?
Hey, John, I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
And I want to just highlight one thing, Sally. You have a really awesome accent. Where is the accent from?
I'm in Connecticut. So I have a little bit of New York, a little bit of Massachusetts, all like put together here. So yeah, I've been born, raised, haven't been out more than 10 miles from the place I was born. So it's just, I'm stuck here.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'm really excited to get to know you and to have you share a little bit more with our listeners about yourself. But Sally and I met just recently. It was only like a few months ago. And I can't remember if we met on Clubhouse or if we met through the Habitude Warrior Mastermind.
Well, it's funny because I got an invite to come to the Habitude Warriors Mastermind. And I don't know. I said, I don't know if he made a mistake and just invited me, but I got the thing and I was available that night and I just showed up. And I think I was the only one I didn't know anybody in the group. And Eric was like, who is this girl? So I said, I don't know. You sent me an invite. I clicked it and I'm here. So it was just kind of fun. And I think that's where I first met you. And then I was in a Clubhouse room and you were talking and I reached out to you and said, I'd like to get more involved with this group because it's such an awesome group of people. So.
Amazing. And we're so glad you have, and we're excited about that. So thank you for sharing that. And then, yeah, we have spent some time on Clubhouse as well. There's been some pretty cool entrepreneurial groups, and it's just really great to see you shining. And I'd like for my listeners to learn that a little bit more about your story, because it doesn't sound like it was always rainbows and roses, but it does sound like you have found an amazing few past years and months as you've been developing on yourself, and you've been developing on helping others take care of themselves. And so I'd like to learn more about that. So if you would take a few minutes to talk about Sally and who she is and where she came from and why she became the person that she is today, if you don't mind.
Sure. Back in before COVID, I was just a adorable, cute little mom, wife, daughter here in Connecticut, living inside my comfort zone, never venturing outside of my little circle of family and friends, never realizing the scope of opportunities that were out there. I had my cleaning business that my husband and I had. We have a small cleaning and janitorial business, and I'd worked that for years without even taking a vacation. So when COVID hit in March of 2020, it was the first time in 5 years that I had time to just stop and really look at my life and where it was going. And I made a decision on March 25th, 2020, that I wasn't going to take it anymore. I looked in the mirror and I realized that I had really let myself go. I was depressed, I was overweight, and I was broke. So I said, you know what, this is it. So I started eating healthier. My daughter and I went through the house and threw out all the snacks and everything. We started walking regularly, and it was gradual over that period of 5-6 months that I started adding different habits. I turned off television because it was making me so anxious and nervous. So I just stopped all media. I started taking online classes, and something happened. And one night I was sitting here, and Forbes Riley had been a Facebook friend of mine for a number of years, and she came on and she was looking for an authors to be in one of her books. And I raised my hand and I said, I'm in. I just needed something different. And so I was in the first collaboration book that she did during COVID, and it's been a journey ever since. So in January, I met actually Lynda Sunshine through that book with Forbes. And in January, I started working with Lynda to create my own business, because I was like, well, I can't clean people's houses virtually. So I need to have something I can do to bring in some money. So I started this new business, and I call myself the Self-Care Rockstar. I started a YouTube show, and my goal is to take people who were where I was and bring them to where I am and where I'm going, because my journey is far from over.
Wow, I love this, and there's so many pieces I want to pick apart. And first of all, thank you for mentioning our friend Forbes. She's an amazing woman, inspired and filled with a lot of really, really great ways to help people overcome challenges. And Forbes is on fire. She's always on fire. She's doing amazing things, and I know that she collaborated with someone who we know through the book series, and she created a collaboration book that was really amazing. So which book was it? Were you a part of the world leaders, or was it the COVID book?
I was the entrepreneurs.
Okay.
One Habit for Entrepreneurial Success, and I was part of the One Habit for COVID. I did both of them, and the One Habit
cool.
to thrive in the post-COVID world. And I met
That's
Lynda
amazing.
through the first book, through the entrepreneurial book, because Forbes would have these little Zoom meetings with all the authors. And so I got to meet a bunch of the authors who were also part of the book, and Lynda was in that book with me. And that's how I connected with her originally.
That's so cool. Later in the show, I'll tell you and I can educate our listeners on how to get a part of a collaboration book, and what some things to look for and why they're so important, or what they can do to help you with your career. But I absolutely love that you shared that. So congratulations, you were in both of the Forbes Riley books, and that's fantastic. I love that one, especially the World Leaders or Entrepreneurs. it was really cool to see a lot of my friends in that book. It was really cool to read a lot of the pages and get a lot of tips, because what I'm finding, and I think what you understand too, Sally, is that it's about habits, and your story emulates why changing your habits can definitely create you into the rock star you desire to be. And that's just an amazing feature, because if you can change your habits, then you can change your life. And I love that you got your daughter involved. I love that you got your family involved. I love that you've been so involved in this and sharing it with others. When people catch the vision of something awesome, they become evangelists. And it sounds like you've become an evangelist, a coach, a mentor on self-help. What's that journey looked like I know as it's been over the last couple of years? What have you been able to see as a result of helping people change their lives through self-help? And what success stories have you seen as a result of what you do?
Well, I'll tell you, I got my husband and my daughter involved, and the three of us have been just on fire this last couple of years. My daughter's 26 years old. She's a second grade school teacher. Cool. And so she would come over here and we would go walking. And, you know, it's funny, there's a cemetery that's not far from here. I mean, it's right down, like down the hill and across the street. And for years, I mean, we've lived here 35 years. We never utilized it. And it was like, that's a great place to walk. And we always saw people walking, but we never did it. So during COVID, my daughter was like, you know, I always see people walking in the cemetery. Why don't we just go over there and take a walk? And we were like, I was like, wow, this is so great. So we started every day. We'd walk down our hill and we'd walk around the cemetery. And it was peaceful. We met so many people just through the walking, and then I'd be talking to them about what we were doing, and I'd get them. There's people that look for us over in the cemetery, and they're like, you know, you've inspired us because now we're walking more, and they're over there doing more things. So, like you said, you know, it's catchy and it's on fire, and I'm just enjoying this journey. God has been so good, and it's just been such a blessing. To really, and it started with just stepping outside my comfort zone and doing things that I was afraid to do, that I would never have done in a million years before.
Yeah.
You know, getting on YouTube. Oh my gosh, I would never have done something like that. You know, the Sally Green that was, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, I was too busy working my business and trying to find, you know, clients and customers for that. And that was my whole focus. And and we were just barely making it. I mean, we were making enough to survive, and that was it, you know, but this has been just so much fun.
And I love hearing these stories of people in my generation or older, because I know you're just in your 30s, that start YouTube channels and get involved in the media process, because you know, where most people, I speak to a lot of high schools, and kids think that that's a career, is becoming a YouTube star or YouTube channel maker, and that's what people want to do. And you know, it's not as hard as we think, but it's not as easy as we think either. And so I just think it's amazing that when, you know, you and I and some of our colleagues are like, you know what, I think it's good to get on YouTube. I think it's really, really good idea. I'm excited that you turned your new passion to self-help and self-care into a YouTube channel, into a show, into an opportunity to reach more people, and that's how you're doing it. So first of all, I congratulate you. And second, wow, what an amazing turnaround from the beginning process of the self-discovery lesson. That's just absolutely amazing.
And, you know, it didn't start out as that. It started out where I was just going to invite some people that I had met through the book series to come on Zoom and talk to some of my friends. And so I did that, and I recorded the session, and I think I did 2 or 3 different weeks of that before I said, you know what, maybe I should put this on Zoom. And someone said, oh, we love coming to your show. And I'm like, oh, I should call it a show, because it was just a Zoom meeting with some friends to get to know some of the people that I had met through this book, because I was like, wow, these people are so inspiring. I just want to interview them and be friends with them, and then share it with the people, you know, my friends and family. So that's how it started. And then it's just been snowballing and getting bigger and bigger. And so I'm my goal is to help these people that I've met through this book series and other entrepreneurs and interview them. And then they can use the interview as promotion for whatever they're doing. So it was, we help each other with it. So that was kind of my my thinking at the beginning, and it's just snowballed. So I'm just like I said, God has blessed me so much, and I am just so happy to be just part of this whole thing and to meet all these amazing people that I've met through this process.
Well, I can't wait to dig a little bit deeper and ask you, what knowledge would you like to share with people? Before we ask that, I just want to share how cool it is, because again, you take something where you get really fired up and you get excited, and you have no idea that you're going to do any of this, and you find a way to serve other people. And what I hear in your voice, what I hear in your language and how you communicate, Sally, it's all about people. It's all about helping others, and you're a really, really great advocate of that. And I think that that's just something that my listeners should know as they get to know you better too, which is know that Sally's about you. Sally's about the people. She's about helping and evangelizing and getting people to understand and feel really excited and included in these awesome communities of people taking action towards a better part of their life. And I think that just emulates who you are. And I'm just so excited to relay that to, one, my listeners, and two, just as anyone stumbles upon this show and they get some more information. But that's a huge compliment to you. You're an awesome person, and you care about other people, and that's just natural of who you are. Let's talk a little bit about maybe the knowledge that you would like to share. So on the Circle of Knowledge podcast show, we asked that you and I kind of talk a little bit about something that maybe is not common knowledge, or something that can be a little bit more taught or specific. What's a nugget of knowledge that you could share with our listeners that they can use and apply today?
Well, I'll tell you, and the book that I just put out is called Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore. And the story that I tell in there is, and I know you say you talked with teens, is about when I was a teenager and how I was bullied in school. And I talk about that experience, and it was something that I was ashamed of and that I never talked about while I was in school. It happened to me for through my 7th and 8th grade experience, and I kind of shut down after that. And one of the things that happened to me during that time, because I was at 12 years old, I'm contemplating suicide. I'm going through a depression. I wouldn't tell any of my family about what was going on. But I got into books. I mean, that was my escape, was going home and reading. And somebody had given me a Bible in 3rd grade, and I would open up the Bible and I would read the stories in the Bible. And that was what saved me. And so when my daughter was in 6th grade, she was about to enter 7th grade, I was struck with this fear that this was going to happen to her when she got into 7th grade. And so I contacted a friend of mine, and her and I started a Bible study for middle school students. And we started with her son and my daughter and a couple of their friends. We started with 5 or 6 kids. And I was like, all right, we're going to do this. So the first time I ever told this story about being bullied was to this group of 7th graders.
Wow.
in this Bible study. And I didn't even tell my husband until after we were married. So I was like, all right, so we started this with 5 or 6 kids. By the end of 4 years, we went through, my daughter being in 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. We had 50 kids coming every week, on Friday nights, 50 teenagers coming for a Bible study. It wasn't youth group. It wasn't fun. I mean, well, it was fun. We made it fun, but it was actually opening up the Bible and reading Bible stories. Now, my job was to create the curriculum. So I did all, because I'd been a Sunday school teacher for over 30 years. So I created the curriculum. We got the older kids to teach the younger kids. And it was just amazing the way that God worked in this thing. So my nugget of information is to take the experiences that you've had in the past and turn them into something positive and use them to help other people. Be
Wow.
resilient.
Be resilient. Boom. Mic drop. Sally Green, everybody. Oh, I love that. And thank you for sharing that background story. I have one that's not nearly as impactful, but definitely is similar, as you and I share the same qualities. And I also was a Sunday school teacher for a few years, not nearly as long as you. That's amazing. And my wife and I would teach together, and what we would do is I just was recognizing that the curriculum they gave us, the this is how you should teach the Bible, wasn't really working the way I wanted to connect with these 11 and 12-year-old kids. And so we just decided, you know what, I have a shot in the dark, but I think this is going to work. And so we started using my mastermind methodologies on how to get the kids to teach the other kids, especially the older kids. And just like you said, things took off. It became a resilient group of kids who absolutely looked forward to Sunday school rather than, dreading it. And that was an amazing observation for me. And so I really appreciate the background story that you shared on that. And there's something to caring and sharing with others, and it's one of those contagious things that ignites the fire in others, and it creates a resiliency, as you said. And it's just an amazing way to create relationships and also change other people's lives as well as yours by caring and sharing with others.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's awesome. If there was a challenge that we could share with our listeners, something that they could take action on today, knowing the knowledge that they know now and knowing the knowledge that we've shared with them, what's something that you think that they could do literally right this second that would help them apply these principles, to understand them, to take their new knowledge and apply it or put it into action in their lives? Do you have anything that you would like to challenge my listeners?
Yeah, I would say change one habit today. Take one thing that you want to change. You want to be healthier, start eating healthier. You want to be less anxious and stressful, turn off the TV today. You want to feel better, go out for a walk. So whatever it is you want to do, find one habit that you're going to change today to make it happen. So that's my challenge.
Love that. Another mic drop. Sally Green, she comes in with the power. It's so fun. Fantastic. Well, Sally, you've got a lot of cool things going on. Tell me a little bit about your most recent development. You've created a course. Would love to learn more about that.
Yeah. So I'm working with Forbes Riley and her daughter McKenna, and she had this create a course in 30-day program. So I started at the beginning of August, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. So I put my mind to it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish it. And I finished it this week. I was up till midnight on Monday and Tuesday night this week, but I finished it. And the thing that scared me the most was making the videos, because there's something about, when you're on here, like with you, we're talking, it's different than making a video and you're just sitting there by yourself and you're trying to teach somebody something, because you don't have the feedback, you don't have the energy from the other person. So sitting and making those videos, it was so hard. And I kept saying, oh, I messed this up, and having to go back and editing the whole thing and learning how to edit, because I had no idea how. So it's been a learning challenge this whole month, figuring all this out, but I did it. So, and I created it. I put it up on my website, so it's there and people can go on and buy it. And it's just, I call it Rockin' Your Happiness. It's 8 strategies to be happy every day. So, and you can go to, I put it on findsally.com is all my links. So it should be right there. So I haven't figured out how to get it its own its own website yet. So that's my next thing. But if you go on to findsally.com, I think it's the very top one. And so I opened my own self-care Rockstar school, and we'll see how it goes. That's going to be my next venture, is teaching others what I've learned over these past 2 years. So that's what I want.
That's fantastic, and congratulations on finishing that. And I'm sure my listeners would love to explore that, learn more as much as they can. And I think that that's just a really, really cool accomplishment. To put something together, doing things that you don't really know how to do. It's oftentimes interesting that most people will decide not to do things because they just don't know or they don't think they can do it. And you just pushed through it. You did it in a month. Needless to say, I've been working on a course for years. I've been working on my book for years, and you just took action. You decided, I'm doing it, and you did it. That's fantastic.
And that's what you need to do. You need to just make that decision. You need to just make that decision. And so now I have this idea that came to me just this past week of working with other people and creating courses together and putting them in my Rockstar school. So I'm reaching out to all of these people, these entrepreneurs, people that I know, and saying, hey, how about you and I get together and we'll do rockin' your retirement or rockin' your mindset, and just creating these rockin' courses and see where it goes. And we can both make money in the process. So, you know, I may be speaking too soon. I have no idea how it's going to happen or how I'm going to do it, but I'm just putting it out there, and you know, God will help me find a way. So that's
as I shared earlier, Sally, you are such an evangelist. You care so much about getting things that help other people, and then when they work, you love to share how it worked, and you turn around and you use the process and you involve other people. So I'm just amazed by your leadership, your self-serving attitude, and what you've created and what you continue to create. And you're like, and you even just said it, you're like, I don't even know if I'm, you know, if I'm cut out for this or if I'm going to do this, but I'm doing it. And that's amazing, because that's the heart of a leader, the heart of a of somebody who loves to serve others. And I was looking for the word something about leadership, but I forgot the term. But you truly are an evangelist by learning and then turning around and teaching others, because it's that important to you. And honestly, like, for those of you listening right now, you may be deciding, you know what, I want to create my own course, and I want to make some money or build a business around some things that I know, some skill sets that I can teach. Reach out to Sally right now. I have no capability of teaching you how to make a course right now, and Sally does. So go to findsally.com or reach out to her if you don't mind, Sally. Do you mind if I share
all my connections are on that? So it's my link tree. So all of my social media accounts. So connect with me, send me a message, and there's a 20-minute free discovery call on there too. So reach out to me. I'd love to share what my knowledge with everybody. So
that's fantastic. And besides your website and social media, what is your favorite channel to connect with people on?
I'm a Facebook girl.
Facebook.
I'm on Facebook, yeah, and you know, I do a little bit of Instagram. I'm on Instagram a lot too, but lately I've been doing a lot of Clubhouse too. So it's the Clubhouse. I like connecting with the people on Clubhouse. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, mostly on Facebook is the best way. Facebook Messenger is the best way to reach out to me.
Fantastic. Well, that's amazing. And again, I can't compliment you enough, because you do have the leadership qualities of somebody who cares about others, and that is one of the greatest things that our world needs. And I appreciate the challenge you shared with my listeners, because that is definitely some things that they can take action on today. You know, decide to change one habit, and to take that one habit and to run with it, right? To run it into the ground, so that you either become that habit or that you can share that habit with others. And I think that's just a very, very powerful piece, whether it's going on a walk in the cemeteries, taking your family, getting to know people, or building a course, or just finally finishing that book that you've been dreading finishing for the longest time because it's taking too long or it's too slow or whatever. It's so great that you've done that, and you've used that as an example of what to do and how to improve your life and self-care. I want to thank you for sharing those details. And to my listeners, if you have other self-care questions, if you have ideas and you want to brainstorm and just get to know Sally, go to her website. As she shared, that she's got a link tree, which is basically a landing page full of opportunities to learn and connect with her, as well as get more information. But Sally, I want to thank you for your time today, and I can't wait to get to know you more and to share more about some of the things that we're doing. But I'll take the last few minutes here to talk about one of our collaboration books and why. Oh, yeah. I want you and I to tell our listeners, don't let me forget, is the power of a collaboration book, and then we can wrap this up. But so, to my listeners, Sally mentioned that she was a part of 2 books, and Forbes Riley is a good friend of ours. She's an amazing entrepreneur, and she shared 4 books.
Four now. Yeah, I just released two this month.
and they're your books, right? You have 2 your own books as well as 2 collaboration books.
All 4 are collab books. I have 2 with Forbes and 2 with Lynda Sunshine.
All right, cool. I'm glad I clarified that. So 2, amazing. I can't wait to hear about the 2 with Lynda. That's fantastic. And this idea of jumping in a collaboration book, and I'm going to call it a collaboration book for now, but I think there's a cooler name for them. I mean, because you told it in your story, right? You said when I was getting to know the other authors in these collaborations, we were doing Zoom meetings, and I just wanted to get to know everybody. Tell me a little bit about the experience of co-authoring books with other strangers who are either experts or just really want to teach.
Yeah, and that was the best part of this whole experience, was getting to know the other authors, because they're all on your same, well, they're all on the same level now. The first book that I did with Forbes, I was like, wow, all these people, and who am I to be in this book with them? Because she had all these Hollywood people and people who had accomplished all these big things, and I'm talking about my little janitorial company in Connecticut, but it was so much fun getting to know all these people, and they were reaching out to me, I was reaching out to them, and I at first I was like, I have nothing to share with these people. I have nothing in common with these people, but we found out that we did. And it was so great nurturing these friendships and creating these friendships. And these people are movers and shakers, and people who are, and they got me excited. So I would, for first-time authors, being in a collaboration book or whatever you want to call it is so much fun, and you get the experience of meeting all these people. And I've never been in a book that wasn't a #1 bestseller. So because everybody's out there pushing it becomes #1 on Amazon pretty much just by itself. So I think it's a great way for you to build your business, to start your business, and to build your contact list and your email list.
Oh, wow. I 100% agree with you. And I'll share a little bit about, my listeners know about the 13 Steps to Riches. This is the collaboration series, quite historical, actually. We only allowed 33 authors into this book to teach about the 13 principles of wealth and knowledge through Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, which has never been done before. And so this is a 13-volume running series with the same authors contributing on the same principles, such as the principles of desire, faith, auto-suggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organized planning, decision, persistence, and so forth, and on and on. And we actually have, what's cool, and I wanted to mention this too, Sally, is in our books, we co-author with a celebrity author. So obviously, you've written with Forbes, you've written with the amazing Lynda Sunshine West. We also co-author with the amazing Eric Mr. Awesome Swanson. But we bring in authors like Dennis Waitley, New York Times bestseller, Sharon Lecter, New York Times bestseller, and co-author of the Rich Dad Poor Dad series, and so much more. We're working with Kevin Harrington in the Shark Tank original, and so forth. We have Jim Cathcart with the National Speakers Association. Anyways, it's just so rewarding to connect with other people who are so anxious and so curious enough to share what they know, and helping people through the books. And it's super cool. We're actually launching another book series coming up soon, and I'll talk to you behind the scenes about that. But it's called it's going to be based on the principles and steps of David and Goliath. and we'll be diving deep and sharing so many cool stories and connections on being a David, or avoiding the faults of the Philistines and so forth. So we're just super excited about that. And collaboration books are, like you said, a really great way to fast track your success, as well as to just expand your abilities as a professional. No greater resume or business card than a thick book, that you collaborated. That's a #1 bestseller of any, and it's just fantastic. So I wanted to compliment what you said and just share a few other ideas as to what I found to be very, very helpful in co-authoring a book. And so I appreciate you being on the show today, Sally, and I appreciate all the shout outs that you've made and all the friends that you've created. And it's just so great that you want to connect and share with other people. And that really is evident in who you are. And I hope my listeners do reach out to you, because they need to connect with more people like you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Well, this has been another awesome episode of the Circle of Knowledge. Everybody, please go to findsally.com. I also just put her email there that she suggested that we use. And if you'll go to Sally at theselfcarerockstar.com, and you can send her an email, ask her questions, get to know her better. And Sally, thank you. And I hope this isn't the last time I have you on the show. I'd love to learn more about your show. And please go to the Self-Care Rockstar on YouTube and watch her and subscribe her, as she's providing really, really great counsel and ideas and interviewing other people on how to improve and how to be healthy and how to share in self-care. I appreciate this time, and I'll go to our outro, but just wanted to say thank you again. And you truly are I keep saying self, but I want to say a service leadership. That was the one I was looking for, a service leadership based person. And I want to thank you for that honor and who you are.
Thank you, John. I enjoyed being here.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Until next time, thank you for joining us on the Circle of Knowledge podcast. See you later.